If someone were to ask you what it means to be an environmentalist today, what would you say? Would you say they are a hippie? Would you say they are someone concerned about environmental sustainability? And what would you say if I were to ask you what it means to be an environmental skeptic? These were the very questions I asked myself. Where it was once possible to think of the environment as something you're either for or against, it is now not so easy. We are now faced with terms such as environmental citizenship and environmental subjectivity. And what these terms do is blur traditional ideas of the environment or what it means to be green. If we take a look at this expanded dialogue of the environment a little bit more closely, we see something like a bit of a spectrum occurring. I like to think of this as a spectrum of environmental imaginaries. Underlying the idea of this spectrum is that we each have environmental ethics of our own, even those who use the Earth's resources for financial profit or gain. There are 4 key identities or points along these imaginaries. First, in the dark green on the left, is your environmental optimists. For them, their environmental problems can be solved if we could work together now and inspire hope for the future. On the other end, in stark white, is the environmental denials or resistors. For them, there is no environmental problem, there is nothing to be fixed. And they're often associated with conservatism and anthropocentrism, or the idea that man is more important than nature. Then in the middle, we have 2 really interesting groups. Next to the environmental deniers on there are the environmental apocalyptics. For them, human-led destruction of the environment is so bad, the future just holds images of doom and gloom. But beside them, we have the environmental skeptics. They're often bunched together with the deniers and resistors, characterised by conservatism and anthropocentrism again. But I don't feel that this does them justice. If anything, I think we should be learning from the environmental skeptics, thinking about the questions they raise and where they want more information. It is here where some of my research lies. If we can start to learn more about these imaginaries, what motivates them, what drives them, what kind of questions do they ask, what debates inspire them, even if we don't agree with them. If we can start to understand this, we can then start to think about environmental messaging. And once we can start to do that, we can start translating values and actions into behaviours and actions.